today, just a little less mundane. Oh.
So hi guys, as you can see dun sa title natin, this is a vlog regarding sa pag-apply ko ng Japanese visa. And yes, we're going to Japan. So by the time na na-upload ko to, most probably andun na ako. So for memory keeping, didiscuss ko kung paano ako nag-apply ng visa and baka maka-help sa inyo guys. Okay, so let's start. So ngayon, pwede na tayong directly mag-apply via VFS. So for me, since nasa Mindanao ako, nag-apply ako via VFS Davao. So hanapin nyo lang yung pinakamalapit na VFS center sa inyo and then doon kayo mag-book. So first things first, dapat mag-book kayo ng schedule via VFS. So lalagay ko sa description box yung site kung saan ako nag-book. So for me, bali April 6 ako nag-book for a May 26 schedule. So this year lang din. Medyo pahirapan din or like punuan yung slot sa booking. Kaya as early as you can, book na yung slot. So kita nyo yung sa akin like more than a month before nung schedule ko ako nag-book. So, pwede nyo din yung gawin. Just make sure na yung schedule na binook ninyo is within 3 months nung trip. For example, May 26 siya. And then, yung trip ko is sa October pa. Hindi yun pwede kasi may expire yung visa ninyo. Just make sure na within 90 days or 3 months yung schedule ninyo. So, pag nabook nyo na yun, makikita ninyo yung confirmation email. Magsisend sila ng isang confirmation email. During booking, makikita nyo yung different options. Pwedeng like single entry for tourists, yung mga multiple entry. Yung in-applyan ko is multiple entry for temporary visitor. And actually, may dalawa siyang option. Yung isa is frequent traveler and then yung isa is considerable financial capacity. So yung pinili ko is Philippine nationals with considerable financial capacity. Feeling lang na may financial capacity. Pwede din namang single entry. Pero nag-multiple entry ako dun sa application since wala naman siyang additional cost. Unlike dati na kapag apply ka for multiple entry, like may additional fee. Pero in this case, wala kasi. So, ayun, pinili ko na lang yung multiple entry. Kung hindi ma-approvean, it is single entry visa. So, okay na yan. So, magsisend sila ng email with all the appointment details. Need nyo siya i-print. And then, for me, diba, May 26 yung schedule ng appointment. The time na nag-apply ako, medyo punuan talaga yung slot. So, yung nakuha ko is 8:35 in the morning. So, yung binayaran ko is just the VFS service charge na 520. And then, nagbayad din ako ng additional service which is yung courier fee, which is 370 pesos. So, aside from that, wala na akong kinuha na additional service like yung ano nga yun? Meron pa siyang different charges yung like text notification, tapos yung parang VIP. Basta medyo marami siya, pero hindi ko na siya kinuha. So, dalawa lang, yung VFS service charge and then yung courier fee. So, ang total na binayaran ko is 890 pesos and binayaran ko siya via card. Ang next, kapag meron na yung appointment, so prepare na natin yung mga requirements. Well, almost the same lang naman yung mga checklist for multiple entry or single entry. So, yung papakita ko sa inyo is yung multiple entry na lang since ito yung prepare ko. So, start tayo. So, first is yung passport. So, ensure na may signature yung passport. And make sure na wala kayong upcoming trip while pre-process yung visa nyo. Kasi nga, wala sa niya yung passport. The next is the visa application form with the applicant's signature. Kung underage or with disability, then yung parents can sign on behalf of the applicant. So, ito yung aking visa application form. Papakita ko sa inyo. So, guys, niretract ko na yung other details, personal details ko. But ito yung example ng aking visa application form. Actually, nagkamali pa nga ako dito. Yung sa passport type, kasi ito yung checkbox If makikita nyo, like, nasa right side pala yung checkbox. So, pagbasa ko kasi is nasa left siya. So, yung na-tick ko is for ordinary sana, pero yung nasa left ng ordinary na checkbox, yung na X ko, yung na-mark ko. So, parang official yung na-check mo. But, okay lang yun. Pagdating dun sa VFS, yung ginawa naman nila is sila na yung nag-update nung aking kamalian. So, chine-check naman nila, and then kung may mga mali ka na ilagay, ina-update naman nila. Kahit hindi VIP ha. Eto, kita nyo, yung ID issued, yung nilagay ko is yung PRC. So, official IDs ha, yung mga acceptable na IDs. So, for me, yung nilagay ko is yung PRC ID ko. Then, place of issue, date of issue, date of expiry, yung issuing authority. For me kasi is, yung place of issue ko is Cebu City, Philippines. So, yung issuing authority ko is DFA Cebu. So, nakalagay naman siya dun sa passport nyo. Tingnan nyo na lang. May nakalagay doon kung saan siya in-issue. So, yun na lang yung ilagay nyo. Certificate of eligibility, not applicable for me. And then, purpose of visit. Tourism lang yung nilagay ko. Intended length of stay is just 6 days. Yung date of arrival in Japan is, ayan, August 22. And then, port of entry sa Chubu Centrair or sa Nagoya. Sa Nagoya ito na airport, guys. And then, yung name of shipper or airline is Cebu Pacific. And then, names and addresses. So, nagka-problema ako dito kasi nga, like, 3 different hotels and like addresses yung stayhan ko sa Japan, and then medyo maliit lang yung space para doon. So ang ginawa ko na lang is in-update ko yung pinasa ko na itinerary sa kanila para like mabawasan lang yung hotel kasi hindi talaga siya magkasya. So as you can see, like eto, dalawa yung nilagay ko. She's sa Odawara, and then yung isa is Mount Fuji. So may idea na kayo, pupunta tayo ng Japan for Mount Fuji. In my case, pinagkasya ko na lang talaga siya. Like, shinorten ko yung names and yung address. So dalawa yung nakalagay, and then yung telephone is lang nga yung nilagay ko dito kasi hindi na talaga siya magkasya. And then yung address. Tapos, dates and duration of previous stays, not applicable. So it's my first time going to Japan. And then yung current address, telephone, mobile, email, current profession or occupation, name and address of employer. Tapos, yung sa second page, halos not applicable for me. Ayun nga pala guys, kung halimbawa wala kayong information or like not applicable siya, like dyan lang ng not applicable. Wag nyo siyang i-keep as blank. So, yung second page halos NA sa akin kasi nga wala akong partner. Wala akong inviter. Wala din ako special remarks. And then, yung sa mga checkbox, no na lang. Yung have you ever been convicted? Chu. So, lahat ng checkbox naka-no siya sa akin. And then, merong isang checkbox dito na if yes, mag-provide ng relevant details for me, not applicable din. And then, wag kalimutan yung date of application and then signature of applicant. So, yung signature, pinirmahan ko na siya via pen. Hindi siya digital. Next requirement, photograph. So, isang photograph lang, which is taken within 6 months. So, for the photograph, guys, dapat hindi siya, like, hindi siya digitally edited. Meron kasing ibang photos na parang tinatanggal yung ulo, tapos papalitan yung damit mo para maging formal. So, bawal yun. So, make sure hindi ganon yung photo ninyo. And, before ninyo idikit, make sure na meron yung name and date of birth dun sa likod nakalagay. Just in case, like, mahulog, at least, alam nila kung kanino yung picture. And then, 1 color copy of passport bio page. Photocopy nyo lang yon. And then, colored copy of used Japan visa, not applicable for me, and request form for multiple entry visa. So, ito yung form nila. So, since yung nilagay ko doon is like, with sufficient financial capacity, ang Filingera, tinig ko lang siya. Tinig ko yung number 1, frequent traveler to Japan, and then who has sufficient financial capacity. And then, date, name, and signature. Ito yung form for multiple entry temporary visitor visa request. And then next is the birth certificate. So, for the birth certificate, guys, issued within 1 year. Huwag matikas ang ulo, dapat within 1 year talaga siya. So, nakikita yan, yung dun sa may bottom ng PSA natin na birth certificate, malalaman nila yung date kung kailan yun na-print. So, huwag matigas ang ulo. Dapat kumuha kayo within 1 year. So, yung sa akin, hindi na ako pumunta ng PSA office. Pwede na kayo kumuha via online. And mabilis lang siya, guys. So, yung name ng site is PSA Serbilist. Kasi mabilis siya. Mabilis siya dumating. Ayan. So, via online lang to siya, guys. Yung amount na binayaran ko is 330 pesos, including yung courier. I think mga 100 something lang yung actual na birth certificate. Plus, yun nga, since ipapadala siya, kaya yan, may additional. So, total of 330 pesos. Lalagay ko na lang din yung link kung saan kayo pwedeng magkumuha nun. So, unnecessary na siya if meron kayong Japan visa sa passport. So, now is yung birth certificate, make sure na readable siya. So, kung alam niyo hindi nababasa yung birth certificate niyo, kuha na lang din kayo talaga ng birth certificate issued by local civil registrar. In my case, nababasa ko naman, so okay lang. Actually, mas maarte pa yung sa DFA natin kasi yung the last time na nag-apply ako for passport, hinanapan nila ako nito. Pero for Japan, hindi na. Pero kung alam mo hindi talaga siya mabasa, kuha na lang kayo, guys, para hindi na kayo pabalik-balik. Ito, meron siyang note na if late registration, submit baptismal certificate and school record form. So, for me, delayed yung birth certificate ko. So, malalaman nyo siya doon sa may upper right corner. May nakalagay doon kung delayed registration or late registration. So, double check niyo siya and then, kuha na kayo kaagad ng school record form 137. So, in my case, hindi ako nakapag-submit ng baptismal certificate kasi hindi ko mahanap yung original. And then, hindi na ako kumuha ulit kasi nga born again na kami. So, wala, hindi ko siya inasikaso. So, papakita ko na lang sa inyo yung letter ko mamaya explaining that. And then, kumuha ako ng Form 137 dun sa school ko. So, eto is nakukuha nyo siya dun sa kung saan kayo nag-graduate ng high school. So, in my case, actually, pumunta ako ng May. Yung May is nakabakasyon yung principal namin. So, walang pipirma. And then, wala yung like official document talaga ng Form 137, yung like naka-computerize. So, yung ginawa nila since like, di ba naka-schedule na ako and hindi ko na siya mahintay kasi yung babalik yung principal namin ng by mga June na. Pass na talaga siya na-schedule ko. So, kaya yun, ang ginawa nila, yung pinaka-original talaga, finotocopy lang nila back to back. Tapos, nilagyan na lang nila ng dry seal. So, yun yung pinasa ko. So, if kayo, asikasihin nyo talaga. Pag alam nyo na may schedule kayo, kunin nyo na kagad yung Form 137 kasi some schools, it will take about a week. May iba na mabibilis, pero yung official talaga na 137, medyo kailangan siya i-process. So, make sure na process nyo siya. For me, ito, for late registration, wala akong baptismal certificate, pero meron akong 137. But yung 137 is not really the official na yung naka-typewritten. Yun sa akin is photocopy ng pinaka-original with dry seal. And ito, if there's no record of birth in PSA, then submit birth certificate issued by local civil registrar and negative certificate issued by PSA. And marriage certificate, so kailangan siya kung for married applicants lang. So, hindi ko siya kailangan. Okay, now, for itinerary. Kailangan siya ng flight information but air booking is not necessary. So, hindi ko na siya pinasa din. Yung details of accommodation, address, and phone number. But booking is not necessary as well. So, papakita ko sa inyo yung example na itinerary. So, ito lang siya. So, sabi ko, diba, like 6 days in Japan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple lang yung itinerary ko. So, sabi ko sa inyo, like 3 hotel. Pero in this case, since nagka-problema nga ako pag-update doon, ginawa ko is, in-update ko yung itinerary ko just to reflect na 6 days and then 2 hotels ang yung stayhan ko. Contact number, makikita nyo naman kung doon sa booking ninyo or doon sa site. Kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-book, then doon lang sa site, yung contact number and then yung address. And in this case, yung activity, hindi talaga siya like detailed. As you can see, yung August 22 ko, mag-arrive ako ng Chupu Airport sa Nagoya and then travel to Odawara for hotel check-in. And then next would be my Hakone Day Tour DIY and Mount Fuji 5th Station. Start ng climb, check-in sa Mountain Hut, and then descend, go back to Odawara and rest, and then yung Odawara Day Tour by the next day, then babalik ng Nagoya and flight back to Philippines. So guys, hindi ito yung actual talaga na itinerary ko pagdating sa Japan. Nilagay ko lang talaga siya. So, watch out sa aking itinerary. Yay! So ito guys, yung itinerary, and ito, wag kalimutan yung nasa taas. Year, month, day. The next is the applicant's bank certificate. Yung bank certificate ko is from BPI. Tala ako sa bangko and then hinintay ko lang siya. And then naka-indicate naman yung 6 months na EDB. And then nagbayad la ako ng, I think it was 300? 300 ata. Oo, parang 300. And then binawas lang nila sa bangko din. So, yun, bank certificate, and then ITR. So, for ITR, yung pinasa ko is yung last year. So, yung last year ko, iba yung employer ko, pero yun yung pinasa ko. Since yun yung meron ako. Copy lang siya. So, kasi yung, kung halimbawa employed kayo, nagsisend naman yung HR or yung sa finance ng Form 2316 copy. So, ayun, may signature ng employer and then employee. Tapos, since yung last year na ITR yung sinend ko for applicant's employment certificate, yung COE, which indicates period of employment, salary, and position, pinasa ko, dalawa yung COE na pinasa ko. Yung past employer ko and then yung current employer. Pinasa ko yung past employer just to show or proof na doon talaga ako nag-work. Kasi nga, yung former employee ko na Form 2316 yung pinasa ko. And then, kung hindi kayo employee, then yung DTI or anything na proof na may business kayo or something. And then next would be spouse or child. Wala naman ako. Authorization letter showing all names of passenger. Ito pala guys is hindi ako nagpasa. Hindi din naman ako hinanapan ng authorization letter. So I think okay lang. But if gusto niyo, then go ahead. Pero ako wala. Company ID, naka-indicate kasi dito na for company ID card if submitted by designated representatives lang. So, hindi ako pumasa. And then, for others, eto. So, papakita ko sa inyo yung example ng aking cover letter. For my cover letter, mali nga ako. Ito yung example. So, mali nga ako kasi yung nasa taas is Davao City yung address. Kasi akala ko dito siya ipaprocess. So, hindi ko alam na ipapadala pala siya sa Manila. So, okay lang naman. Hindi naman nila pinabago. But, ito yung nasa header ko. And then, yun. Dear Sir, Madam, good day. So, I am writing this letter to explain some of my application details and documents. So, for my baptismal certificate, I am unable to provide my baptismal certificate as you can find my original copy since our family moved houses several times since I was a child. I also can process it with the church as me and my family already changed our religious affiliation as a born-again Christian since I was in college. And then, for my Form 137, and explain ko din, yun nga, my previous school were able to provide me with a certified true copy of the original only, hindi yung typewritten. Since when I visited my school this month of May, the officer in charge for this document is currently out of office and will be back only by mid of June, which is already past my scheduled appointment with VFS. So you can refer to the stamp and dry seal for authenticity. So yan yung nilagay ko. Now for my BRR 2316, My current employer is different from my latest ITR 2024 since I was connected with yung aking company last time, which is better known as, kasi may iba yung name doon sa BIR 2316 ko, and then yung ginagamit nila as marketing name. In-explain ko na lang din kasi baka makita nila, magkaiba yung sa COE na pinasa mo, magkaiba yung sa 2316. Nilagay ko na siya dito. Only until February of this year. So for reference, I am submitting my certificate of employment with my previous company for further proof. Next, also my current employer does not have an office telephone number. So wala sila guys. Wala silang binigay sa akin. Tinanong ko pero wala daw. So as advised by our HR, you can directly contact them via email. So sinand ko naman yung email ng HR namin if employment verification is needed. So, nag-contact ba sila sa aming HR? Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko na tinanong. Since humingi naman ako ng COE, in-explain ko din na mag-a-apply ako for Japan visa. So, most probably, kung naghingi naman sila ng employment verification, then aware yung HR namin. Next is, I am currently working from home, but my current company is located in, ayan. So, nilagay ko na yung address ng aming company. Now, my main purpose of visiting this time is to climb Mount Fuji. I was already able to secure my mountain hut reservation, submitting it as proof as well. Hindi ko sinubmit yung ibang hotel booking ko, but for the mountain reservation, sinapit ko kasi isa yun sa actually requirements kung gusto mo mag-overnight sa Mount Fuji. So, to show na talagang aakyat ako ng Mount Fuji, sinabit ko siya. So, it will really mean so much if my application will be approved, as climbing season only opens once a year during summer. That's July to September. And added bonus if granted multiple entry visas, so I can better plan my next trip to the country to experience the rest of the other seasons, especially autumn of this year. So, ayun guys. Hoping for favorable feedback and thank you for reviewing my application. Respectfully yours, my name, yung address, and then my contact number. Yan yung aking cover letter. Ayun, ulitin ko lang, hindi ako nag-submit ng aking plane ticket at saka yung hotel booking. So, yung mountain hut lang yung aking sinubmit. Now, May 26. So, ano nangyari doon? So, for VFS Davao, kasi yung earliest schedule nila is 7 a.m. Nasa may Philcris siya na mall. Before 7 a.m., andun na kami. Kakapasok ka doon sa Philcris before 7 a.m. Kasi yung mall is meron siyang call center. Open I think 24/7 if I'm not mistaken ha. So nakapasok kami sa parking area before 7 and then pumasok na kami doon sa mall. If you remember, yung aking schedule is 8:35 in the morning. Ayun, check ko. Tapos tinanong ko kung ano yung earliest na time na pwede akong pumasok. Kasi hindi naman ganun kadami yung tao. So sabi na wait na lang daw ng 8. So may Dunkin Donuts sa tabi niya. Ay, hindi naman tabi. Doon sa mall may Dunkin Donuts. So kape-kape muna. Then by 8, bumalik ako. And pinapasok ako guys. So kahit 8:35 yung schedule ko, pinapasok ako by 8. So nangyari doon is check yung documents, tapos may security check yung mga bag. I think yung tinanong sa akin is kung mayroong mga lipstick, something ganun. Tapos tatago daw kasi bawal. Siguro kasi documents yung may mga important documents. So, kaya bawal. Yung mga bags, yung malalaking bags, iwan nyo na lang siya guys. But, meron silang locker doon. Nakita ko naman yung locker pero hindi ko alam kung magkano. And electronics na malaki. So, pagpasok doon, binigyan ako nung form for LBC. Kasi nga may career ako. So, fill up yon and then, bigyan ako ng number. Wait lang ng number. Tapos, since hindi tayo VIP, nandun lang tayo sa normal lane. So, okay lang din. Mabilis lang din siya. Pagtawag sa number, punta ka dun sa counter and check yung mga requirements. And then, while nag-check siya ng requirements, nag-explain din ako bakit ko pinasa itong mga certain requirements. And yun nga, may nakita siya na mali dun sa application form ko. So, in-update niya. Siya na yung nag-update. Oh! And, kalimutan ko mag-photocopy ng government ID na nilagay ko dun sa form. So, siya na din yung nagpa-photocopy. May photocopier sila. I think 5 pesos or 10 pesos yung binayaran ko. But isang copy lang naman siya, yung PRC ID. So yun, nakalimutan ko siya, guys. Like, may na-photocopy ako, pero naiwan ko sa bahay. Diba? So, ayun. And then, submit na lang. Tapos, binigay niya na sa akin yung tracking number and all. Tapos, yun, tapos na. And after that one, nakalabas ako like mga 8:30. So, 30 minutes lang yung processing. Mabilis lang, di ba? Kahit hindi ka VIP, mabilis lang. So, mga 8:30 nakalabas na ako. And then, may nag-text na like, received na din yung application form. And then, after that one, waiting game. So, paano ko nag-check? Yung sa reference number na ibibigay nila, pwede nyo yun siyang i-check online. Just take note, so, hindi lang Japan visa yung pinaprocess nila. May ibang countries din. So, baka pag maghahanap kayo ng website kung saan nyo siya itatrack, hindi nyo siya makita. Yun yung nangyari sa akin. Like, bakit walang update? Yun pala ibang site yung chine-check ko, like, for other countries siya. So, make sure na Japan yung chine-check ninyo. So, now, July 2, nakita ko na process na siya. And, pabalik na daw siya via courier. So, yun. Waiting game. So, dumating siya dito sa North Cotabato by July 10. So, mabilis lang siya, guys. So, di ba, nag-apply ako May 26, padala nila sa Manila. Alam kong pabalik na siya sa akin by June 2. And then, dumating siya sa bahay ng July 10. And, papakita ko sa inyo yung aking reaction sa pag-receive ng Japan visa. Eto, nasa gilid. Magkaka-idea na kayo kasi pag-open nung aking pag-open kasi yung sa passport, pag mayroon tong marka na red dun sa likod, denied siya. So, yung una kong tinignan is yung likod. So, walang red. So, alam kong nag-grant tayo. So, check ko yung laman sa loob and then, well, hindi naman siya sadly talaga, pero hindi tayo na-approvean ng multiple entry. So, na-approvean tayo ng single entry. So, good thing din kasi nga, nakabook na ako for Mount Fuji. So, okay lang. Like, bonus lang kung ma-approvean tayo for multiple. But, hindi talaga yun yung goal ko. Goal ko lang talaga makakyat ng Mount Fuji this year. So, yun guys, na-approvean tayo. And then, for the succeeding weeks, ang ating new vlog series is Japan! Yay! So, yun na. Like, yun yung whole na process ko ng pag-apply. Ano siya guys, like, DIY lang talaga lahat yung pagka-update ko. So, kung halimbawa, nahihirapan kayo like mag-update or gumawa ng mga or mag-fill out ng mga application form. So, pwede din magpa-help kayo dun sa mga agencies. So, okay lang yan. Mas, actually nga, kung halimbawa magpa-VIP kayo sa VFS, mag-agency na lang din kayo. But, yep guys. So, just make sure na pagpupunta kayo ng VFS, naka-prepare na lahat para hindi na kayo pabalik-balik. So, looking forward guys. And, so, I'm so excited. Oh, thank you, Lord. So, lagyan nyo na lang, guys, kung may mga questions pa kayo, try ka sagutin. So, that's it. See you, Japan. Yeah. Bye, guys.